What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back once again to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and I am back with a new episode of Under the Radar. It's been a couple of weeks since the last episode, but here we are talking about the end of July, and for this week I'm talking about two albums that actually came out July 22nd, but I decided to include it here for the weekend of July 26th. So we're kicking things off with Morbus Grave with Feasting the Macabre. This came out on Memento Mori Records, and this is an Italian-based death metal band, they're described. However, I think this is more blackened death metal because the vocals, the production, and a lot of the tremolo riffs feel very much like black metal at times. Like, the vocals are like putrid sounding, but yet they're more on the black metal side of things. You get black metal tremolos, but you still do get some death metal tremolos, but the production value, it's really raw, it's really murky sounding. But of course, as far as like the elements, D beats, blast beats, death metal lumbering grooves, you get all different types of melody, whether it be doomy melodies, eerie melodies, or just like standard melodies within death metal or black metal. It's very punky at times. It does get thrashy occasionally. Some triplet chugs even show up on a track. However, the big thing is pointless interludes, intro, and outro. I think we could have just cut those out, and I think this would have made this album a lot better in terms of the flow. But yeah, as far as any complaints, I do wish the guitar tone could have been a little heavier, and maybe there could have been a little bit more classic death metal nods on here. But aside from that, I think this was a pretty good offering. If you're a fan of, I would say, Autopsy, Necrophobic, Necrowretch, and Nunslaughter, check this out. This is a pretty solid one. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was a pretty good album, and, well, one you should check out from the underground. But now let's talk about the second album, the final album, and that is Intolerance with Waking Nightmares of an Endless Void. This came out on Gods of War Productions, and this is straight up death metal, and they're from Spain. Man, I've been talking a lot about Spain bands this year. A lot of them. I don't know what's going on with Spain and metal, but they are seemingly thriving. But yeah, this is just pretty much just straight up old school death metal, like low-end tremolo riffs that give it a little bit of a nod to bands like Morbid Angel and Deicide at times. However, I think this is definitely far more inspired by European death metal, I would say, rather than American death metal. You do get some like big chugs and groove, it gets thrashy at times, some awesome lead work. There's some really cool, like, almost melodic death metal harmonies and melodies that pop up every once in a while on this album, almost harkening back to, like, Swedish death metal at times. There's some bolt thrower-esque lumbering grooves, there's blast beats, and I love the production. It's quite gritty, but it's all mixed well and audible throughout. Yeah, this is definitely more straightforward death metal, but it does get bonkers at times. There are some triplet chugs, and it also gets into like Death Doom territory every once in a while on this album. As far as anything that I have to nitpick about, maybe some of the transitions could have been a little bit smoother, like maybe a nice drum turnover, or like more drum turnovers could have helped benefit the transitions in between parts on this album, and I think it would have made it feel less jagged and a little more smooth. But overall, if you are a fan of bands like Asphyx, Benediction, Bolt Thrower, and Unleashed, check this one out too. I am also going to give this 3.5 out of 5. This was another pretty good old school death metal offering from Spain. But of course, those are all just my opinions. What did you guys think of these two albums? Of course, the albums themselves will be in the description box for you to check out. But be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Thank you for watching. Keep your horns high and your dreams wet.
Thank you for your patronage.